Good afternoon. This is George, your life coach, and I'd like to talk to you about self recovery after being continually exposed to a toxic boss. Now, there are many people that talk about how to deal with a toxic boss at work, but no one really ever focuses on the loss of self and recovering one's identity after continual exposure to being exposed to the criticisms and abuse that a toxic boss wields over us, especially when we are in the work environment, and how this impacts us after we leave the toxic work environment. The first thing that we have to recognize is the fact that when we allow ourselves to be exposed to toxic bosses' criticisms and abuses, we ultimately allow ourselves to lose our identities gradually by second guessing ourselves, by questioning our worth, by questioning our value. The reason is that we always seem to see ourselves through the lens of those who continually focus on our mistakes. In time, this will gradually weaken our confidence. This will weaken our ability to even move forward and leaves us in a state of paralysis. A paralysis that nobody wants to ever be in, but nonetheless is a real phenomena when holding on to the inner criticisms that a toxic boss wields. So the first step that we need to do to recover our true self identity after having been exposed to a toxic boss's abuses, the best thing that we can do first of all is to look at ourselves before we were exposed to the criticisms. What were our achievements? What were we like? What were the things that made us happy before we were exposed? And then, secondly, after we've done that, we can then move on to rebuild our confidence levels by looking at all our achievements and looking at the things that we did right rather than on the things that went wrong. And thirdly, after having built our confidence from knowing who we are from our achievements, we can then learn to establish boundaries so that future bosses do not ever have any right to play on our confidence or drag us down any further. Now, this is just some words of advice that I just wanted to share because I've been receiving uh, many calls from people asking me to talk about this important topic. And I just wanted to share this with you. And if you feel this message resonates with you, feel free to drop a like and let's book our first clarity session on the path to self confidence. See you next time.